That wasn't the, our plan wasn't
Yeah.
to call it a hiatus in lieu of wanting to call it a breakup. It was, was what it was. But I get it. I understand why people would interpret it the other way. Yeah.
It's because it's an aesthetically pleasing word. Hiatus.
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 Sounds very very Latin.
Yeah.
Fallout Boy! Yeah! In the first place, we didn't really mean to announce it or anything. It just kind of happened, I mean, somebody asked what we were up to, and it's like, oh, not much, and that turns into, they broke up, and we're like, no, we're on hiatus. They're on hiatus, they broke up, and so, hey, what's up, we're Fall Out Boy. So we're all standing around this fire, throwing records out there and taking photos, and it was kind of this really surreal moment, because it was like, this is our first public act as Fall Out Boy in 3 years. And
it felt semi-legal.
Hello fellow emos and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be diving back into the post-hiatus Fall Out Boy iceberg. If you're not already subscribed, then please do hit the subscribe button. I post new videos weekly. And as always, MCR5 2024, it is so real. It is so happening. You just gotta keep the faith. Let's go. Mania bath bombs. Mania Bath Bombs refers to, unsurprisingly, bath bombs Fall Out Boy released to promote Mania. They were purple and white, and honestly they were kind of cool looking. The marketing campaign for them centered around the fact that they're not for eating, they're for bathing with, which I can't tell if that's like a proper legal disclaimer or if it's supposed to be a gag. I will attempt to insert the promo video now, but I'll probably have to speed it up because Fall Out Boy they claim everything. They just do.
No. What the heck is going on? Using bath bombs for bathing, not eating. Do not eat. Oh, do not chocolate.
Furry Puppet Lawsuit. Furry Puppet Lawsuit refers to the lawsuit I mentioned in a previous video. However, I'll go over the entry again though. In 2019, Furry Puppet Studio Inc., the company that owned the llama puppets used in the Young and Menace music video, sued Fall Out Boy for copyright infringement, breach of contract, unjust enrichment, and a few other things. In their filing, they stated that Fall Out Boy only had permission to use the puppets in one video, Young and Menace, but instead they continued to use them in other videos, on tour, on merch, and they even named a whole EP after the puppets. They went on to say that the puppets have now become central to Fall Out Boy's identity, brand, and music, and have been viewed nearly 1 billion times on social media and other mediums. Furry Puppet Studio asked for unspecified damages based on licensing fees, album sales, and other revenue streams that they didn't get a cut of. And to cover the cost of the damage to the llama costumes, apparently the llamas had damage to their eye sockets. Fall Out Boy didn't comment on the lawsuit, however the parties came to an agreement and settled outside of court. If you want to read the entire filing, it is online. I'm going to be honest though, I did not read the filing just because it's over 80 pages long, but I'm sure it's a good read. Patrick Stump scoring. Patrick Stump scoring refers to, the scoring Patrick Stump has done. On his IMDb page, he's been credited as being the composer in a number of projects. This includes, but is not limited to, Merry Little Batman, Spidey and His Amazing Friends, Gnome Alone, and Most Likely to Succeed. It's unsurprising to me that Patrick got into composing because he's such a music powerhouse and he's so talented, and it was inevitable, let's be honest.
Hi, I'm Patrick Stump. I'm in a band called Fall Out Boy, but what a lot of people don't realize is I'm also a film composer. One film that I have been working on, and I'm really having a blast working on it, it's called Spell. It's kind of a thriller, psychological thing.
I'm Barrick. I'm the star of Spell. Go ahead.
Anyway, the thing that's really amazing about this...
I wrote Spell.
Yeah, you did. It was great. So, if I can just show... I guess I'll show you guys
and I'm co-composing it, too.
I'm working like long hours on this thing by myself. It's crazy.
I didn't write it.
It's okay. I mean, sorry. So I'm going to show you some stuff on guitar.
I wrote like the whole thing. It's awesome.
Sunlux. Sunlux refers to a sample Fall Out Boy used in their track 4th of July. The sample is from Lost It to Trying by Sunlux. Carl Hofstetter of Joyful Noise, The label Sunlux was on at the time wrote a blog post about the whole situation, which I'll read extracts from now. I was sent an email from Universal Music requesting clearance for Sunlux sample that was to be included in a new Fall Out Boy song. I'd never heard of Fall Out Boy, but I knew that they were one of those huge bands. Next, I did what I normally would do in this situation, forward it to the band with the general attitude of, whatever you guys want to do is cool with us. But then I listened to the track. What I was expecting was a pop-punk song with some vaguely discernible elements from Ryan's song buried in the mix. What I actually heard was more akin to karaoke. It was a bait-and-switch. The beginning was 100% Sunlux, but then it went into the worst possible trajectory. Somewhere if you were at the bar and Queen's Under Pressure starting playing, but then before you know it, no, that's not Queen and Bowie, that's Vanilla Ice. What came after this was about 4 weeks of negotiations between GNR's lawyers and Universal. It was a weird and annoying process, all dealing with industry standards that I'm not accustomed to. But my position hadn't changed. Unless we were getting seriously paid, I didn't want the song to exist. We absolutely had the power to say no, which would have probably seriously effed up Fall Out Boy's release plans since they'd already recorded the piece of, and I highly suspect they already had the vinyl in production too. Unless it was ridiculous money, I would rather have saved the world from this abomination. Anyway, after weeks of telling them no for any price other than an outlandish sum of money, we finally came to an agreement and let Fall Out Boy use the sample. In my mind, it wasn't enough, but I'd started to annoy off the Sunlux camp with my incessant naysaying. I heard several stories from industry insiders that we really put Universal through the ringer, and they were just angry. Which was not my intention, I just didn't want the goddamn song to exist. In any event, we agreed to those terms and the Fall Out Boy track was cleared for release. It's now 1 year after the agreement, and after a lot of pestering, we finally received our first installment of the elusive Fall Out Boy money. You can trust that we're using it to support some incredible artists. We are Robin Hooding this stuff by funding some truly amazing music with the blood money. Hopefully enough amazing music to counteract the sins of letting 4th of July come into the world. If you haven't listened to Lost It to Trying, then I recommend you do. Whilst I don't know anything about music technically, the description of the sample being used in a karaoke way seems accurate. It does just sound like Patrick is simply singing over that instrumental without any changes being made. Don't get me wrong, I like the song, but it's not the most creative sample, and I don't know why they just couldn't come up with a track themselves. I'm a fan of sampling, but when you do it like that, it's lazy. My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark demo. My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark demo refers to, unsurprisingly, the demo of My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark. In a 2017 Alt Press article, it was revealed that the song was a demo for From Under the Cork Tree. Pete said, "We didn't include this song because we never really got a verse we liked. The chorus is really poppy with still kind of weird timing, and I really like the line My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark. It's got kind of a malicious, voyeuristic undertone." An alt press described the demo as slightly schizophrenic guitars, ominous pounding drums open up in a wide open space of yelping melodies. The transitions are a little shaky, but the musical intentions are good. The demo is on YouTube, so if you haven't listened to it, then you definitely should. I really like it, and I hate to be that person, but God, I miss that older sound. Don't get me wrong, I love the newer sound too, but the difference between the demo and the finished song is massive and undeniable. Hold Me Tight, Big Boat. Hold Me Tight, Big Boat refers to a Sirius XM video where Pete and Andy are being quizzed. One of the questions is, finish the Fall Out Boy lyric, another day goes by, so hold me tight. A, hold me tight, you won't. B, hold me tight or don't. C, hold me tight, big boat. This then became somewhat of an inside joke within the fandom. I'll try and play the video for you now, but it may have to be sped up, unfortunately.
Finish this Fall Out Boy lyric. Another day goes by, so hold me tight. Hold me tight, you won't. Hold me tight or don't. Hold me tight, big boat.
And the answer is big boat.
And the answer is hold me tight or don't.
Big boat.
Miami Man. Miami Man refers to the time Pete Wentz was roller skating in Miami in a neon crop top and matching socks. The press sold it as a, oh my god, what's he up to? What is he wearing? He's off the rails. But it was a gag for Pitbull's New Year's Eve Revolution 2014. I'm gonna post a clip of it now, but be warned it comes from someone filming their TV, but unfortunately that is the only copy I could find.
Can't come to Miami Beach without a little roller skating.
Russian hackers. Russian hackers refers to Russian hackers leaking the So Much for Stardust album cover before it was officially announced. So Much for Stardust was announced on the 18th of January, but it leaked onto VK on the 11th of January. VK is a social media platform that is extremely popular in Russia, hence why it was attributed to Russian hackers. Despite the leak, the rest of the fandom wouldn't find out for a few days, and when they did, pretty much everyone was saying, nah, that's fake. But of course it wasn't fake. That's all I can find about the hack online, but of course I don't speak Russian and I'm not on VK, so maybe the information's out there and maybe I just haven't found it. If anyone knows more about it and can explain in the comments, that would be sick, though, thank you. Fall Out Boy 8. Fall Out Boy 8 refers to their 8th album, which we know now is So Much for Stardust, but this was before it was confirmed to be named that. The name came about from an ad Fall Out Boy put in the Chicago Tribune, which read, Fall Out Boy 8, if you build it, they will come. The advert wasn't explicitly about Fall Out Boy, and so it started a lot of discussion online. It was kind of like an Easter egg hunt. Is it them? Is it not? What does it mean? I love researching this entry so much because it reminded me so much of the MCR fandom with MCR 5. There are so many posts from Fall Out Boy 8 truthers piecing together evidence of the album existing. Does a lot of it sound like tinfoiling? Yes, but of course they were right, and I just know that's going to happen with us MCR 5 truthers as well. And that is where we're going to end the iceberg for now. Thank you so much if you made it this far into the video. As always, if you have any topics you'd like me to cover, then please let me know in the comments down below. I just want to make the announcement that I finally got a proper computer. I was editing on this really old laptop that barely works, so editing is so much easier now. The next thing I want to do is do something about the mic, because I got the computer as better as speakers. I had no idea you could hear my breathing. It sounds I'm so sorry because it sounds disgusting. I have tried to edit it out of this video, but the next thing I want to get is some kind of like filter so you can't hear me breathing. And that is everything. Thank you, and I will see you next week.